Hello everyone, welcome to the Law Offices of Mary Kennedy. We are going to discuss about some of the important topics, and more important, please subscribe to the channel. We are very serious about updating very important topics, and thank you for all your support and comments. It really encourages us. And coming back to this today is unauthorized employment. What is unauthorized employment? If you look into it, most of us assume that, okay, I'm doing this as in just a time pass or in a hobby. How do I differentiate? Am I a volunteer in a place where I am considered a volunteer? These are all very, very important. The situation is, if you're stopped and then you're asked about your employment, let it be an ICE officer or anyone, or at the CBP and any port of entry you're entering, these are the places you have to be very well aware and be prepared to address what's your employment, what's your job duties and everything. Coming back to the most common one, even I had a consultation last week. As you all know, I come and talk in practical ways. How do we avoid these common mistakes? I just do an Uber in my part-time, and it's a hobby for me. I like to connect with people. This is the very, very common conversation I have with a client. And why do I be considered as an unauthorized employment? Or you don't even think through, okay, I like Uber, so it's a fun for me. Let me drive. I like driving. And is it considered an unauthorized employment? 100%. The reasoning also is there. Uber is going to be, they don't verify whether you have a work authorization or you're eligible to work. All that for them, when you are a 1099, it's called independent contractor. So in that case, they don't have to do a I-9 or any kind of, they want just your SSN number, and you don't think through it, because this is not something very uncommon. It's very common. I have seen multiple places, and that's the reason for this video. So then you just get enrolled in the Uber, and then at the year end you receive a 1099, which is called that you are employed by Uber, not employed, independent contractor by Uber, and this is your payment. It can be any means. It doesn't have to be Uber, like any other ways that you are working, considering it's a part-time, it's a fun, it's a hobby. But however, the consequences are very high. For example, if you had been employed 180 days, when you step out of the country, people always think, oh, when I go out of the country and when I get my stamping, then I am clear. That's not the way. Unauthorized employment is a very, very serious consequences. Don't look at to see I can do this and then I will correct it back. That's not the way it works. And if it's more than 180 days till 1 year, then you will be banned from entry to US for 3 years. And also just not the consequences of banning. The record in your passport, in your travel history is so much higher, risking your complete future of being in this US and the dreams of US and everything. And more than 1 year, it's even a 10-year ban. So be aware of all the consequences. Please pay attention. Any work other than your work. See, the voluntary places are some places where you are unrelated to your job. So you can be going anywhere, temple, church, or any common places. That's all very, very encourageable. You can definitely do that. But if you work in the same situation, you are an IT developer and you go to another employer and work there and say it's voluntary, that's not something you can do that. Even if you stay in the country right now, you cannot work on the extension of your receipt notices on the H4EAD, which is very common. So sometimes we don't look at the end date. You just continue your employment, and the employer also, they are supposed to verify. I agree on that. But at the same time, working in a school or somewhere where you're not supposed to be continuing after your EAD expires right now, because you cannot work on the receipt notice, then it's called unauthorized employment. It definitely affects the green card, because you provide all those documentation related to your W-2, 1099, any income that has been received, all those are recorded. And now USCIS, IRS, and all those databases are all together. If USCIS decides to verify those details, it's not only from your documentation, they have the data that is available, which will be cross-verified. So please pay attention, and then, don't risk your current non-immigrant status or the green card just for a temporary purpose of working. I don't want to go into the waivers, forgiveness, or there's no forgiveness. You have to do it as a waiver. And there are other options like 245K, which is also an option when you file the 485 in case of an unauthorized employment till 180 days. But however, that's not the path I would ask you to do. If at all happened earlier, which you're not aware of it, we can talk about it. It's a very subjective critical question. You need to have a consultation with attorney and then walk you through the option that is available. The reasoning here is to educate, it's not to create any fear. I'm very clear. We are all there to support you if at all anything happened and how to avoid it. Don't rely on my friend does it and other people didn't do it. They had been doing it for years. So that's not the way at all. So please pay attention and, just be aware of your rights. Thank you for watching. And as I said, please subscribe.